My boyfriend cheated on me. Should I cheat back to make it even?
What's that, Jada?
He gave me permission.
It's not called cheating. It's called entanglements.
Okay, let's talk about this, because this is something that we agree on some points for, but my husband and I also disagree on some points for. And we had arguments for days about this. So you guys can tell or make your decision in the comments, or if you're listening on the podcast, you can make your decision as to what you think it is. But let's say, for example, in Will Smith and Jada's case, if you guys aren't...
not everybody knows.
Yeah, if you guys aren't aware, you should know who Will Smith is. Men in Black, Wild Wild West, Bad Boys. He's a very quirky guy. He played the genie also in the new disgusting Aladdin movie. But he's dating this woman called Jada Pinkett Smith. It's his second wife. All the 2 kids that he has, the weird ones, those are the kids they had together. Well, some years gone by, people had rumors going around that Will Smith and Jada were in an open relationship due to things they said, such as Jada saying Will is his own man, and Will telling Jada that if she needs to be with someone or have sex with someone to make her happy, then she should do it. Anyways, it was such a shock to us when it came out recently that everyone is freaking out because Jada had an entanglement, as she calls it, which is a sexual relationship with her son Jaden's friend, August, a rapper celebrity or something of the sort. So Will Smith is at the table talking with her, and he looks like he's visibly upset. That's up for debate because people are saying he looks like that in other videos as well. But clearly he's uncomfortable with the situation. The question is, why is he uncomfortable? I mean, aside from maybe everything being in the media right now and his business being out there in the air, if they had an open relationship. Now, my husband's perspective is that Jada should not have chosen someone of such a low stature compared to her, and furthermore, her son's friend, and that it was wholly her fault what happened. I'm from the camp of, yeah, it sucks. However, if they were in an open relationship and that's who she chose to fuck, how is it her fault if the guy is the one that went out with it? So let's talk a little bit about that, and we'll just go back and forth. You want to comment your side?
I mean, you already told my side.
Oh, I apologize, but you can expound on it.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it briefly earlier in the day. There's been rumors about Will Smith cheating. Okay? Mm-hmm. But there's never been anybody that says, yeah, me and Will Smith were banging. Now, why is that? Honestly, think of what's your best guess? Why hasn't nobody said anything if they did?
Could be a variety thing. Could be that he actually didn't cheat, or they had something to lose, or the people he chose just happened to be classy people that didn't want to get into it or look bad in front of everyone. They were also women, so they don't want to be looking like, oh, I slept around with a married man.
Yeah, there's plenty of women that will use that to get ahead.
That's true, but maybe Margot Robbie was one of the women that was on the rumor list. I'm pretty sure she's not the kind of person to do that.
I think it's several of those. I think some of the women he may or may not have, air quotes, screwed around with. Some of them are, they don't kiss and tell. Some of them have something to lose. Will Smith has a lot more power. And because no one said anything against Will, he has no fault in terms of public opinion. His image is clean in that regard because he has plausible deniability. He can say, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And until someone says otherwise, that's what happened. He did not cheat. Jada, however, she chose a young kid who wanted to be a rapper, who had emotional issues. Okay?
She was trying to fix him.
Yeah. It's like Will Smith saying, this girl who just got out of college acting school, saying, I want to be famous.
And she's emotionally unstable.
If he bangs her, she is going to sing about what happened. So, yeah, I blame Jada because she made that choice to screw him. Jada Pinkett could have easily have boned probably several high-profile record executives, and it never would have came out at all.
Well, you know what else it is probably? I didn't mention this last time we talked about it, but as you said, the guy has emotional issues.
Yeah.
It wasn't just sex for him. He clearly said in that little lyrical poem that he's sharing around online now that he was in love with her.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more than that. And I've been in those situations with guys who are emotional, and I come in trying to be their friend, even though in that situation I'm not having sex with them, I'm just their friend, and they fall in love. They become so destructive. They do things that you're like showing up at your parents' house, crying outside your door, and I'm just like, oh my God. It's kind of that situation. So she having sex with someone, going the extra mile, and she trying to heal him. Like, some of the stuff she said was just so weird. And I was from the camp of, it's not her fault because she didn't know he was going to talk, or she didn't care. Whatever the case is. Maybe he said, oh, I won't. And then he realized that, oh, she's going back to Will, which is really stupid on his part, that she's a married woman. And then he's like, you know what? Screw it then. Since you don't love me, and you're not going to screw around with me anymore, I'm just going to go and sing, which is exactly what he did. Now, here's when we'll get to answering the question. Someone cheated on you. Should you cheat back to make it even? One of the things that Jada said in her little interview with Will was that, you know, she hadn't felt happy in a long time. She was very unhappy. And there are several other accounts where she's saying she was hurt. And it sounds to me, I may be wrong, but it sounds to me that Will had cheated on her or did something to hurt her. And she got so depressed to the point where Will is like, if you need to bang someone else to make you feel happy, go ahead.
Wait, let me save that thought. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
And I caught a brief part of this idea off of something I saw on Facebook. Why is it when women are unhappy, it's understandable that they go fuck someone else? But when men aren't happy, they have to work things out.
No, are you asking in
No, I'm
regards to this?
in part of that, but in general. Because that's kind of how society looks at it. Oh, well, she was unhappy. You weren't keeping her happy, so you can understand why she went and did that.
No, that should be looked at. I agree. If that's the way they look at it,
that's the way a lot of people look at it.
It's still not acceptable.
When they're not in the context of the situation, that's how a lot of people look at it. They say, oh, well, the woman wasn't happy, so I understand. And if the man's not happy, well, you got to work at it.
Mm-hmm. From my understanding, in Jada and Will's situation, if he went ahead and said, look, we're in an open marriage. If I need to do something to make me happy, I go ahead. You need to do something to make you happy, you go ahead. From my understanding, Jada has always been a free spirit kind of hippie-ish person. That's not my thing personally, but maybe that's what they had going on since there were rumors that they had an open marriage. So it shouldn't be an issue that she's sleeping with someone else. Even if Will decided on his end he's not going to do that, she shouldn't be at fault for doing it. However, and this is how we get to answering the question, should you cheat on someone else to make it even? If she was unhappy because she thought Will took advantage of her by cheating on her or hurt her, and she felt like the only way that she'd feel better is to get back at him so she has the power too, and you both talk about that, then it should be something that's quiet. As you said, you should choose the people accordingly, and it should be in the same vein as how the other person cheated. I personally wouldn't do that, because if you're going to stay with someone, then, you know, you're going to have to understand you have to forgive them. Going back and cheating on them just to get even is not a very good look for your character, and that will only breed more issues and trust issues, because where you will forgive the person and you move on, that person becomes a better person because you've given them a chance. Now, some people won't. They'll keep cheating. At that point, you shouldn't stay with that person. Honestly, in my opinion, if someone's going to cheat on you once, and it's not a situation like they're away in the military or something like that, it's like you see them every day and they're cheating on you, it's probably a relationship that you should move on from. But if you actually are going to forgive that person, you shouldn't have a stipulation of, oh, I need to screw someone else too. Now, that being said, last thing I'll say is if you both come to the agreement, like, look, we need to see other people, we've been married for 40 years, let's do something fun. If you need to go out there and be happy and do that, and the man did it, and the woman is like, yeah, well, maybe that's a good idea, and you can come back and you both move on from there and you're truly even, then whatever. At the end of the day, it's the individuality of the relationships, what you guys decide will make you happy. But personally, I wouldn't do that. But I do understand if that's the case in Jada's situation, why that would be a problem. Because you're always going to feel a lack of trust towards this person. And it depends on the time period, too, if Will did cheat on her.
One thing I'll say in the Jada situation is, don't try to fix something unless you intend on keeping it.
Mm-hmm. You mean with the kid?
Yeah.
Yeah. What if she does that with everyone? She seems to do that with everyone.
That's a problem then. Don't fix anything unless you're like, I'm fixing this to use it. It's mine. Don't fix something that doesn't belong to you. That's
weird though, because he's family, like he's best friends with her son.
Don't fuck your family.
That was the mistake. Especially that if you are gonna do that to make each other even, make sure that your husband first is in on it. Because if you just go and cheat behind their back, oh, I forgive you, you cheat behind their back and be like, well, now we're even, that's not right. If you talk about it and they're like, yeah, sure, or whatever, or just break up. But don't be like, I'm going to screw my friends.
I don't think it was talked about ahead of time like, hey, you remember when you cheated on me? Well, I'm going to go fuck this guy to get to make it even. I think that was only spoken about after it was already done.
That doesn't make sense, because then why would Will say, if you need to fuck someone to make you happy, then, go do it?
Yeah. Someone. I get that. But then to be like, by the way, I fucked August. That was done after the fact. She didn't say, oh, really? Then do you mind if then it's fine that I fuck August then? Because he might have said something about that.
I don't think he would have been okay with that.
I think he would have been like, that's our son's friend. What's wrong with you, woman? The kid practically looks at you like his mother. What are you talking about?
It's close to home. That's so
You don't
weird.
fuck close to home.
That's nasty, dude.
You don't do that.
Freaking incest in the world.
I mean, there's porno tapes about shit like that.
Yeah, that's fine, but close to home, it's like seeing you every day, coming to your house, eating your food. That's freaking weird. Anyway, that's what we gotta say on that. Like, yeah, don't if you're gonna do that, agree. Make sure to agree that it's an open marriage, because then that you can only two wrongs don't make a right. There's some truth to that. Anyways, let's move on to our next topic.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
What's next?
Okay. Someone asked a question into the channel some time ago saying, how or when should you apply the Myers-Briggs for relationships?